With the conclusion of the divisional round, let's look at the injuries you need to know about for the up-and-coming conference championship games. Beginning with the Commanders, we actually start with one of the more notable injuries of the weekend. Commanders right guard Sam Cosmi actually tears his ACL on this play right here. And you actually can't see much in that replay because they're following the running back, but in this replay, pay attention to that red circle, not that yellow circle. You're going to see that he actually gets folded up under himself after a Lions defender rolls onto his legs. And I have another closer angle so you can really see what's going on. In fact, at first I really thought this was going to be a medial ankle sprain or some sort of medial ankle injury, but they have confirmed this to be an ACL tear, and it kind of makes sense because your ACL sits deep in your knee behind that PCL, so it's right there. And if we take a look at it from the side, the main function of the ACL is going to prevent posterior translation of the femur on a fixed tibia and anterior translation of the tibia on a fixed femur. And that's exactly what we have going on here. So there's his tibia, here's going to be his femur, and the Lions defender is forcing his weight down on the tibia, which is going to cause an anterior shift, while the femur is in a fixed position, which is going to cause an excess motion of what the ACL is trying to prevent, leading to it tearing. Moving on, we have the Chiefs, who really didn't suffer anything major in the divisional round, just this minor injury in the middle of the fourth quarter from their safety Justin Reed, who's coming in to help on a tackle when he hits his own player. And that just kind of seems to be the theme this year. Everybody on defense is getting injured by hitting their own player. One of the worst ones being Amik Robinson in the Lions and Commanders game, so if you want to see that breakdown, check it out. But this Chiefs injury actually looked worse than it actually ended up being. You can see he gets a pretty clear shoulder body to the head, but was ultimately able to go back into the game and was even a part of the game-winning or game-clinching play when they blocked that field goal for the Texans. Now moving on to the Eagles, who really didn't have it all too bad this week, which is definitely a relief after losing to Kobe Dean. And the first injury we're going to take a look at is rookie corner Quinyon Mitchell coming in to make a tackle on Stafford, leading to injuring his own shoulder. And there's really not much to see here in the replays, besides the fact that his shoulder takes a pretty big blow. If I had to guess, maybe this is something to do with his AC joint, just because of the direction, magnitude, and location of the impact. And he was also seen walking to the locker room holding that collarbone area. But in the end, I probably wouldn't actually be too concerned about this injury because they said that he's probably going to play. And the injury that's probably actually on everybody's minds is going to be Jalen Hurts, who appears to have suffered some sort of knee injury on this play right here. And he actually seemed to be in quite a bit of pain, even coming up and limping. But I'm here to say it actually doesn't even look that bad. It's just a knee hyperflexion, which we see kind of often. But when you watch these replays, I'm really not seeing any bending, any awkward twisting, things that would seriously disrupt a ligament. Obviously, a knee hyperflexion isn't great. It's not going to feel nice. It's going to hurt a little bit and definitely stretch out some of those structures. But there's nothing I can really see that would limit him from playing in the conference championship game next week. And finally, we have the Bills, who only sustained a few injuries. The first one being Bills safety Taylor Rapp, who actually suffered a hip injury and was carted into the locker room. Now, I'm unsure of when this injury actually occurred because there wasn't one play, so I'll just show you all of the plays that he was in before he came out of the game. So we have that one, and then we have this one where he actually makes a tackle, but he just looks fine, not really displaying any pain or anything like that. And then this is the final play, which was the Ravens fumble. As you can see, he's just deep in the backfield, just kind of hopping and walking around. Unfortunately, I can't give you any insight on this injury because I don't know what happened, so we'll have to wait and see what comes out. But there was one other Bills injury, and that was to corner Teron Johnson. It is believed that he suffered a shoulder injury on this play. You can see his arm makes contact with the ground while he's sliding. I have seen reports that this was a shoulder subluxation, which is just a dislocation that relocates spontaneously. So while he was able to return to the game and will most likely be playing in the conference championship game, it is still important to mention that he has been taking quite a beating this playoffs. But that's going to be all the injuries for the divisional round of this year's playoffs. Let me know what you think in the comments and if I featured any of your teams on this recap. As well as don't forget to like the video if you enjoyed and check out my channel for more injury breakdowns.